Hi, I would like to discuss something that happened to me today. Um, I was talked to by a friend who told me that the FemmyCycle was amazing. She uses it. She said it was great. I'll talk to you about all the pros of it. So the FemmyCycle is a menstrual cup. You can use it up to 12 hours at a time. It is kind of bulbous. It's got a loop at the end of it, or the bottom of it, and it's got a funnel that comes up at the top, and then you push the funnel in, and it collects your menstrual blood, and the funnel keeps it from coming back up so it doesn't spill out. And it's silicone, and it's comfortable, and yeah. I was thinking for the environment it would be a good thing to have, instead of buying tampons or pads and stuff like that. So I've been thinking it was kind of weird, but I decided I was going to try it out. So anyway, so about a week ago, I got it in the mail, and I was really excited to try it out. I did not have my period, so I wanted to try it and see if I could figure it out beforehand. She told me there was going to be some sort of learning curve, and that I should use lube. So I didn't have any lube, so instead I used coconut oil, and I lubed up the rim, and I followed the directions. You're supposed to fold it over, or I'm sorry, you're supposed to fold it in half and then fold it into a C. But because the rim is kind of thick, it was really hard to fold, and it was really hard to turn it into a C. And it took about 10 times for me trying to insert it for it to finally get inside me. And it was a little weird because I'm not a big fan of sticking my fingers on me, whatever. But I was able to get it in there. And then once I got it in there, I was able to grab the ring and pull it out. Well, this morning, I started my period. So I was really excited. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm finally ready to use this thing. So I try to put it in. I'm struggling. I can't get it in. I have a leg propped up on the toilet. I'm sitting on the toilet, doing all these things that they say will help you insert it easier. And finally, I get it inserted. But I somehow got it twisted or turned around. My body basically absorbed it. And apparently I do not have a low cervix. They tell you that you should probably find out where your cervix is. I didn't think I had a low one. But apparently my cervix is way up there, and I could not feel it. I couldn't feel the ring. Somehow I got it twisted around, and the ring was in the back somehow and up, and it got lodged up inside me. So I completely started to panic. I tried to pull it out. I could not touch it. I couldn't feel it. I had my fingers up in me, and I couldn't feel anything. And luckily, my husband was home. And these are the things that you should probably talk about or part of maybe your wedding vows is that the underlying things, the things that you don't really ever say but are underlying the words, are things like, hey, if I ever get my FemmyCycle menstrual cup wedged up inside me, you might need to help me dig it out so we don't have to go to emergency. So that being said, I called my husband into the bathroom, and he proceeded to try to help me get it out. I told him, explained to him the process, and that you need to hook your finger through the loop and pull it out, or like pinch the silicone cup and pull it out any way you can. Anyway, I ended up in the bathtub. I had taken off my pants and underwear. He had a couple fingers up inside me. I had a full-out panic attack. I started getting shallow breath. I forgot to breathe. I couldn't relax. I slid down the shower wall, ended up laying in the tub, Meanwhile, he's like yelling at me saying, Aaron, don't pass out. What do you need? You want water? Don't pass out. Are you okay? And I guess I've passed out before in front of him when I was really sick. And he says that this eye, I think it's this eye, does this weird thing where it almost like changes shape and it shifts. Like I get like a lazy eye. And he knew that I was going to pass out. And I've never had a full-blown panic attack before. I broke out in a sweat. And anyway, he finally got it out of me. Meanwhile, I was laying on the bottom of the tub, with my legs like spread, full panic attack mode, maybe in and out of consciousness. I don't know, it's all a blur. But anyway, shortly thereafter, my girlfriend picks me up like minutes later. She picked me up to take me to the mall. So it was super stressful. I think if I ever insert it again, I will tie like a tether or twine to the loop so that I can yank it out if it gets wedged up there again. I'm really bummed because they're not cheap. I don't feel like throwing it out. And I'm a little traumatized, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, word of advice. You probably should listen to the directions about finding where your cervix is. If you have a deep cervix like I do, like and you have short fingers, I'm only 5'2". I do not have long fingers. I have small hands, like Donald Trump hands. This could be a concern. You know, I didn't want to go to an emergency and have somebody yank out a Femmy cup or FemmyCycle cup. My husband, luckily, his fingers were long enough and was able to pull it out. He too was pretty traumatized. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know that is one of the cons of things like this if you don't have a low cervix. And I don't know, my recommendation is until you get it down, you might want to tie something to it or you know, get used to inserting it in yourself. And yeah, so yeah, anyway, I just figured I'd share this because this was a gnarly experience for me. I'm 44, so it's not like I'm not familiar with my own vagina. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know, maybe save somebody some stress, possible ER visit, and a potential panic attack. Anyway, take care. Hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for listening to my ridiculous story. Bye.